Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start our last session for today. We're talking about links for SEO in 2018. And if you were here earlier at the last session before the break, you would know Christoph, and he is going to give you a rockstar overview on links for SEO 2018. There are a lot of slides to go through, so he asked me to keep this short. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Hi London. It's great to be back again. I love you guys. Thank you, Mikey. A few words about myself. If you've been in the past session, you figured out I've been doing links and SEO since a long time, since 2003 actually, and I'm the founder and the inventor of link detox and link research tools, and actually a software engineer, which is why I actually wrote my first book about software engineers and understanding those, or maybe understanding them better. So if your fiancé is an engineer, you might want to pick up that book, or if you ever struggle with engineers. But I'm not just an engineer, I love orange jackets and SEO. And just like I upgraded my product recently to can do much more data, I upgraded my outfit to a full suit now. Question number one that we heard before, a guy had a lot of questions about that. Are links still important and will they remain important? And what you see here, the title slide, is a picture of the web. It's websites and other websites and other websites. And there is a way that they invented 20 years ago to get from A to B. 30 years ago, that was 1989. Hypertext and hypermedia was there. We called it multimedia. We had CDs with videos and sound on it. But this guy, Tim Berners-Lee, invented the hyperlinks. Doesn't mean it needs to remain a hyperlink as we know it today, a blue underline link. But the web is content and links, and it doesn't matter if this technical implementation remains. You cannot not see people going from A to B. It doesn't matter if they click on a link, if it's a JavaScript link, an app link, a button, a voice command, people navigate. Links are really the synonym for navigating the web. And as long as search engines try to mimic users, as long as all these paid super smart guys at Google try to figure out what we are doing, those type of navigational elements that we call links today will remain. And remain important. Hey, my ear falls off. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. Attach that. Christoph brought his back. So you cannot not see it. And even Google, Gary Illyes of Google said ranking without links is really, really hard. And this engineer, who's now a little bit up in the ladder at Google meanwhile, said that links are still the #1 ranking factor with content. It's content and links. When asked what the thing is with RankBrain, why RankBrain is the #3 ranking factor, and to remind you about RankBrain, who of you knows what RankBrain really does? What's the purpose of RankBrain?
Art of machine learning.
It's the art of machine learning. To do what? To understand different queries, to understand if I type in what's the best mobile phone, the machine really wants to figure out what I really want to have. Do I want to have a phone for making pictures? Do I want to have a phone for recording my voice? Do I just want a little phone with big buttons because I'm impaired on my eyes and don't see anything? The machine should find out what I really want. The problem that search engines traditionally had was always the query. So that's what RankBrain is about. They try to make that query better, but the core is content and links. And for all the things that you can do in SEO, there really isn't a substitute to go for a bunch of good backlinks. Says Matthew. Who of you knows Matthew? He's the CMO of HubSpot, just on February 5. We see a high interest. Unbeaten still. New trials of link research tools, 1,000. And how to build great links. Some ideas that still work. I mentioned it before and I say it again. You can buy backlinks. Disclaimer, Google doesn't like it. You want to buy the right ones. So we have technology to review links before you actually implement them, before you pay for them, before you have them. To review those links with Link Opportunity Review, and the price of 10K for a single link, even in German markets, is crazy. You don't want to get caught by Google. And that's what we talk about. Building great content and amplify that is building something new, something different, something exciting. I just spoke to this other gentleman here before. If you have this casino website and you have an article about how gambling addiction destroys families, make all these family websites with huge trust link to that page. Maybe to earn that trust. No? Prepare for failure. You want to use Facebook ads in some markets or other ads for feeder site traffic. You want to retarget on your content. You want to use email outreach with a solution that we in Link Research Tools integrate with that is, well, sending a lot of emails without overdoing it to the extreme, stopping when it needs to be stopped. Building PBNs, we got tutorials, we got trainings, we got an ebook that we have in our Link Research Tools Academy for just that. A powerful PBN means to have clean expired domains to start with and have hopefully no footprints detectable, to live the P for private and not public block network. To have a PBN that stands the test of time and hopefully also the test of link detox. A very popular off-label use in our client base for link detox is running link detox on those PBNs, trying to find out if those PBNs stick out before Google finds them, to find footprints and eliminate those footprints. This is what our users use to build the best-in-class footprints, the best-in-class PBNs, by trying to do what they would do anyways after a penalty, before, and then remove all these footprints as good as possible. And like I said before, I asked in my community what's going on with that PBN penalty. And 43 manual actions from this one guy in January alone just told us it's more about strong links with keywords overdone, not necessarily a PBN. PBNs, EDUs, when you're greedy and go for money, anchor text, when you have too much. That's an easy to spot flag, always has been and is no different today. So my question to you is, do you know your own money to brand keyword ratios on your website? Who of you has looked at this ratio in his backlink profile recently, comparing the percentage of brand keywords, compound keywords, and money keywords to each other? Let's see a show of hands. Oh, very few. Okay. If you don't do that, you don't know where you're standing, right? Well, is 30% good or bad? Who thinks 30% is too much? 30% money keywords? Who of you thinks that it's too little? What do we know? We know 30% just stands there by itself. When I compare this to the market or to my competition and I see that my competitors all have 1 or 2% money keywords in their backlink profile, I suddenly see, oh wow, these 12% here really stick out. The same is true for compound keywords, while other keywords are quite okay. So it looks like I'm working in a niche, I'm working against competitors that are very, very cautious in the market to use money keyword links. I have overdone it, but the opposite could be true. There are markets with 30, 40, 50% money keywords. If you don't compare this to your competitors, like I said about competitive research, what do we know about our SEO strategy? Flying blind. To sum this up, of course, great links don't get served on a silver plate, especially not in 2018. I remember a time when all you had to do is take out a credit card and buy links. I mean, any links. Anything was good. If it wasn't good, the links were devalued. Ta-da! And the circle continues. I'm going to come to that. But first, please beware of fake links. Who of you heard the term fake links recently? There was a case study written by Glenn Alsop, I think, Viperchill. It's an old but still working trick where you have exchanges with other people on links, maybe for money, maybe just for trading links, or for exposure on your own websites. And by blocking that link in robots, which is easy to spot even for an amateur, or in the HTTP headers, you can make those links worth less. which means your link back will work for them, but their links will not work for you. This whole thing is called fake links now, these days in the last week, so I thought I'd mention that in the free browser extension link redirect trace, there's just one spot to look at if it's a fake link. Not indexable, not crawlable, not followed. Regardless if it's in the robots.txt or the HTTP header. And that's a free thing we have out there for 2 years, I think, in the Chrome and Firefox. If you don't have this installed as an SEO in your web browser, you're probably using extensions like the AIMA redirect path, or a rel canonical plugin, or a robots.txt parsing plugin, or there were 2 other HTTP header plugins that I used before. The problem is those plugins didn't talk to each other, so they were not able to interpret what's really going on from an SEO perspective. So because of that, I actually had to build this extension first in 2016 before starting my advanced redirect and rel canonical tests. Of course, also as a preparation for a feature that many people don't know, that we have in link research tools, where we have all that just for all your links. If you have thousands of links or 100,000 of links to look at, the objective is to find out if someone at some point devalues your links by putting a no index in the header or in the robots.txt. This is how it works. You have this signal here, and all these reds are not good for your links. Means the links are devalued now. That's a core feature of link research tools for a while, a year and a half, I think. And for the geeks, we can of course show you the X-robots tag, header tags, X-robots. We even check the page as Googlebot as well, so we can even find those cloakers that show something to Googlebot and something else to you. Yeah. Let this be a very geeky technical, geeky feature that could mean you're ranking or not, especially in a competitive market like gaming. And please watch out for toxic redirects. I spoke about this a couple times already, but a lot of people still don't know. In 2013, Google changed the rules for redirects. Until 2013, it was possible to redirect a penalized site and get all the good stuff. 2013 was the update Penguin 2.0, and since then, toxicity, the penalty risk, passes over with the redirect. And this is what you need to know if you work with your own old websites redirected. And this is also a possible attack vector for negative SEO. I missed the session over lunch, but I think redirect spam was one topic on the agenda there as well. That's that. So if you have a lot of websites penalized, do not redirect them to your own website, for sure. Gary Illies, he said in Brighton, September 2017, Christoph, you do a great job at reminding people about the importance of links. And we, Google, don't appreciate that. Yeah. He also says, disavowing is not important because I don't have a disavow file on my own personal blog. There are companies that engage in disavowing, but I don't like the disavow tool. That's essentially the quote that I didn't put on the slides. And what this led to is the belief or the assumption that Google would figure out bad links themselves, that they would devalue paid links, that they would devalue spam links, like they said and did 10 years ago already, mostly on a manual way. And today they say and communicate in various ways that they find bad links by themselves. But the magic question is, nobody said they have found the golden formula to identify all bad links. Nobody ever said that Google finally cracked what they've been looking for to find spammy intentions to manipulate their search algorithm. And yet we've seen so many recoveries from link audits and cleanups, 43 from this one guy, one client of ours, a partner of ours, in January alone from the link cleanup. So let's imagine for a moment that Google changes the algos and rules in hindsight, makes all bad links work negative, let hundreds of thousands of websites drop overnight. Google would never do that, would they? They did just that. That was Penguin. Google Penguin 1.0, April 24, 2012. Thousands of websites, 100,000 of websites dropped overnight because of just that. Because before that point in time, I said it before, all the bad links were kind of not discounted. They didn't have the negative sign. So now we're in a world where there's some uncertainty, doubt, and fear from links. It's called FUD, and this is something that Google has been doing, I guess, for 15 years. My advice to you is better safe than sorry. If the disavow file is not active at all, let's assume for a moment, you may want to have it in place if it becomes active. But from my experience, from what we see is disavowing helps websites rank better. So, leading to the question if link audits and link monitoring is important. Let's assume you have links that bring you real traffic, actual conversions, links that can help you big time in Google search results as well for SEO, of course. And other search engines. Let's not forget that there are other search engines around. We talk about them sometimes. But does it make sense to watch those great links? I just showed that example, of course. Those are the links that might bring you those people that convert on your website. Maybe they help on your website anyways. But let's not forget that links are a way for people to move from one to the other place, from one website to the other website. Let's assume Google would be shut down by the European Union for all their data privacy breaches. We would still have links where people go from A to B and buy your stuff. Sign up for your casino or whatever, your newsletter. We want to watch that. And of course the opposite is true as well. If there is the slightest chance that a link can be worthless or dangerous and can drive engaged users the wrong way, let's assume, let's think about all these Facebook and like buttons and Twitter buttons and Pinterest buttons. If I have an engaged user on my website, do I really want to send him to Facebook to share my stuff, or do I want to convert him? It's just one example of a link that it could actually be dangerous on my side. But let's say there are also links that could turn your rankings in Google, paid links, toxic links, and other search engines. I just spoke to the gentleman before, Yandex. Yandex turned off the links in December or November 2014, but they turned it back on in March 2015 because they figured out turning off the links didn't help cleaning up the paid link market. So what they did was the same thing that Google had. They implemented penalties. They implemented filters to take out links they thought would not count. But does it make sense to watch that? If it impacts my rankings? If it could impact my rankings? If I could get better rankings? I would say yes. I also see that because we have a very popular link audit guide on our Link Research Tools Academy that gets sold every day, and that I would advise you to check out for a lot more details on that topic just alone, especially for bigger companies and teams. We have a whole process. It's not just about the tools, it's really about the mindset, about what are we trying to do and how do we spread the work across 15 countries. You have 15 business partners in 15 countries and they all work together. They need to work together. That is a problem that a lot of large corporations have. They first need to, get everyone on board for the same rules to work on. Anyways, do you want to leave that up to chance or goodwill of Google to come back at you? Well, at another year? I've seen enough to say it will happen. It's just like on all these markets, Bitcoin falling off a cliff, it's gonna rebound, no question. And I've been there at 20 and bought, and I'm there at 7, and I'm still, and the same is true here. It's better safe than sorry. And it's about the site penalties turning into granular penalties, not demoting whole sites, but demoting single links, demoting pages or keywords. That is what Google implemented with Google Penguin 4. A quick reminder about what that was in September 2016 is that they can penalize also pages and subfolders. So if a single page or a single subfolder drops, it could be because of a link penalty. The rest of your website might still be fine, and the response to bad links or link cleanups happen in real time. Real time means as soon as the links are crawled. It can hit any time. It means hit any time for a little fraction of your website. Or silently hold you back for your efforts. Imagine you have such a penalty for a part of your website, a specific folder, a specific product. and you do all kinds of marketing, doesn't seem to impact that. It could be because you already have this partial penalty, or to use, Philly corrected me, if it's coming from the algorithm, it's not a penalty, it's an algorithmic filter. Let's get the word right. It still feels really, really bad. So that's why I use the word penalty. But there's a simple trick to leave all that behind. Of course, watching those links on an everyday basis. Penguin can affect a small part of your website. But here's, for those that have a disavow file, when did you last check that? Who checked his disavow file in the last 3 months to take out something? Okay. Especially important when you start in a new company or when you take on a new client as an agency. Undisavowing is a great way to rebuild great links. We've seen so many mistakes happen in disavow files because the disavow file was used wrong, because there was a whole root domain disavowed. Let's disavow Blogspot because of all the Blogspot spam. Oh yeah, you disavowed 100 spammy links from spammy Blogspot domains, but every other blogger on Blogspot that wrote about you got disavowed as well. No good. Someone in my team many years ago had the idea to disavow SEMrush. No good. I love SEMrush. They are partners of Link Research Tools. We're using part of that data since 2010. And of course, are linked in many places. I've done webinars with them. And so that's not a good site to disavow. But important, when you take out that disavow, you will need to make sure that the disavow file is being crawled. Quite often, this is not the case when we talk about spammy links. So which links matter? I said it before on the panel, you want to get high trust links. If you have the choice between 10 on-topic casino links that just come from some blogs or PBNs about casino, and this one charity organization with a power trust of 81, oh my God, there is no question you go for this high trust link. That's for sure. When we talk about paid links or any kind of link buying from the typical vendors, be super careful and check if those links could possess a risk already before you buy them. How the link opportunity review method works is that you just give it a bunch of URLs, check this, simulate this against your existing link detox profile, and then we can tell you if you had that link already, it would mean high risk, low risk, very low risk. Always use your own judgment as well. But this is a pretty foolproof way to weed out those overly spammed domains and networks already that our users love. We have a guy who buys new link opportunity review credits on a daily basis because he built an automated system to do just that with all the link vendors. He's in the finance market, so not yet a competitor of yours. But I tell you, the system that he built on top of Link Research Tools is almost as complex as Link Research Tools to do this simulation on an industrial scale with thousands of links. So, of course, we have an API for that as well. For guys like him, the average user will not use that scale. But which links to work with and which to audit? You may have seen these slides before, but I've seen this in many cases. Don't just look at a part of your data. Our philosophy, our strategy is to provide as many as possible link databases combined. If you go to the dentist and have just one tooth jacked, what's that worth? Your front tooth is fine. Great. You want to find the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, keep the good ones, that's easy. Of course, disavow the bad ones, that's easy too. But the bad ones are those broken links, are those that go through redirect chains, are those that suddenly have in the redirect chain a no-follow header, where that link becomes a no-follow just if you go through all these redirects. This is what we do in Link Research Tools. This is why we recrawl all these links, to be able to find such edge cases. And I'll tell you, if someone wants to hide or disable links for you, it's going to be one of those nasty tricks. It's not going to be a no-follow tag on that page. Yeah? The same is true for good links as well as bad links. But in any case, repairing that, going after links that are, let's say, manipulated like that, is another important thing to keep in mind. And usually, we find that these links are hidden not in the freshest, strongest part of the link profile. The links that are holding you back, the links that might cause trouble, the links that are not as effective as they could be are in this bigger chunk. And that's why we combine 25 link data sources. I have a lot more to tell about links, and redirects, and SEO, and conversion optimization, building PBNs, fixing penalties. And this is why we now have 2-day workshops on a 2-monthly basis in Vienna with the next dates here. And yeah, here's a link where you could sign up to that. The February one is almost full, but you might want to check that out, because for you guys until next Thursday I have the code LAC 2018 where you can go to the LRT Academy to sign up for that workshop, or get the PBN ebook, or get the LRT Associate, or any of the other 40 offerings that we have specific to case. If you want to build PBNs, it's a different thing as doing a link audit, and I think we have a pretty rich offering there for all these special cases that I would love you to check out. If you have any questions, I'm here for the next, I still have 6 minutes for questions. I tried to speed up on my 65 slides, and I still have some copies of my book that I brought for you guys. So, if you don't have any questions.
Okay, let's go to some audience questions. Yes.
Hi, great presentation, thanks. I want a question about this evolve file. Do you think this evolve file, Google used this evolve file to understand who of type of domains is spam or not and collect this data?
So the question is, can I see in the disavow file which domain is spam and which domain is not spam?
Do Google use this data to collect them?
Okay, I'm sure they would love to, but there are way too many mistakes in there, and I would love to too. And many people say I have the best combined link database, disavow database. The problem is, and I had 3 machine learning projects on that in 2015 and 2016 to make that worthwhile. However, there's so much trash and wrong signals in the disavow files that we get that we didn't find a way to filter that out to something useful. If there is a balance, an imbalance with good and bad data, at some point I said, okay, third projects, we had, in the end, we had 4 machine learning systems voting against each other, and we never got to really conclusions that were better than the machine learning that we built in 2013 with Link Detox Genesis. So we have machine learning, but it's not based on the disavow file. And a Google guy told me 2 years ago also that they cannot use it, especially because it's very popular in Europe and in SEO-driven markets. Most of the world doesn't even know what a disavow file is.
Yeah, because if they use, if I input some competitor domain in my 100 different properties, I can damage him domain, maybe.
No way. No way.
They
that was a
protect us.
fear for many, many years, and I understand that. But if that would possible, I would know it by now, and I would have a fix and a software to go against that, or I would have mentioned it at some point. All these tricks I've in my pocket, essentially, at some point. They all come my way.
Good one over here.
So, question is, it is possible to find who is doing negative SEO for you?
It depends on who he is, depending on how careful he is. Because negative SEO with links is just one thing. Negative SEO by registering a domain that copies all your content, that pulls you out of the index with duplicate content and hides all that from you is a lot smarter. The more experienced the people are, the harder it gets. Finding them with technology, I would say, is harder than just finding it by looking around. Who is looking at you with an angry face? That's usually the competitor, that could be, yeah? And that's something I would say, is most likely, yeah? From a technological standpoint, all these footprints, links, IPs, domain registers, all of these can be faked and are faked. They are faked for PBNs as well. So PBN builders have everything in place to make it look like someone else was it, which would even be even nastier. If it's too obvious, if one guy is obvious in there, then it's probably not him. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Fox in the hen house. Any other questions? Yes, two more.
What do you think about creating link? What do you think? Sorry.
Sorry, can you
What do
speak up?
Yes. What do you think about try to start a link building strategy with social media, but with the same post in every network to make it easier to grow a link building? You think that is possible, or you need to diverse?
The problem is that social media is, something that people consume while they're taking a shit or while they're sitting in the subway. You don't get links out of it. When you're on your phone, you watch some stuff, you read it, you engage, maybe you sign up somewhere because you have your email in there, but getting links out of that has traditionally not worked.
I mean, in the post you can put the link there and create a connection between the post from Facebook to the page.
If I understand you right, you want to post that article on Facebook, and you expect people to read that article and then share it somewhere else. No.
You put the link, you put the post, and it has a link, so it has a connection, okay?
Yeah.
Between Facebook and our site. So that is a kind of a link connection.
Yeah.
You think that is a good strategy, or think?
No. Regarding Facebook, I have another tip. Something that you could try for sure is if you have these crazy articles. This example with gambling addiction was maybe a bit gross, but you have better ideas maybe. You take that and you want to get it in front of link people. People that sit on the desktop, that are writers, that are editors. You go to Facebook, you create a custom audience with people that have editor or Redakteur in German, or editor-in-chief, etc., or blogger, or head of blogging, or head of marketing, in different newspapers, in different publications, maybe even TV stations. A very small segment of 20,000 people, or maybe 5,000 people. And then you just hammer and target these people with your content. You just show them your content. It doesn't mean they are the right audience for your content, but if the content is exciting or new or different or gross, it might mean that someone picks it up and talks about it in their office, and that could lead rather to a link. And if it doesn't lead to a link, it might lead to a phone call, which, time is over. No, but I think this would be a better idea. The specific targeting of Facebook is what I would use, rather than just splattering the content everywhere. It's if it's too much, it's too obvious, people find it. Your competitors find it, and then they might, report you for that as well to Google. Yeah?
Do links with affiliate tracking, do they pass on SEO juice? And is there a limit if it's not just a variable, but an affiliate network would literally overwrites the link, but it still lands on your website?
Yeah.
Does it pass on the SEO juice?
I would use the link redirect trace extension that I showed before. That's free in the Chrome store here. I would use this thing to actually look at the links. You want to find out if link juice passes through. I cannot answer this for every link, but if you have a link, an affiliate link, here we have the cookie symbol. That's good. So you got the cookie from the affiliate network. But the first hop says it doesn't follow. So it does not pass the link juice. In another network situation, it could pass on. So you want the green, green, green on the follow and the green, green, green on index table. And you want to have that cookie. And you want to make sure in between you don't have any of your competitors' cookies that override your cookies. But this is what link redirect trace is also good for. This is why combining all these different pieces is so worthwhile. And that's the only answer I have for you now. It depends really on the links. And if there is a limit for the number of links, I would say no. If you have a lot of affiliate links that are follow, however, if there is an FID or partner ID or something in there, it's just easier to spot as an affiliate link. And then, well, affiliate links are essentially paid links, and Google wants paid links to be no-followed. So I would recommend in this case to go to this referrer-based. I know the referrers are cut off many times and not everyone likes it, but if you have a really strong affiliate, then get a clean link from him and do whatever deal with him. You know, it's not for the masses. But usually, let's face it, from 1,000 affiliates, you have 10 really gold mine affiliates. Those 10, you make these special deals. They also have the strong sites, and you go one by one with them. This is how I would, approach that. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. If you have any more questions and you weren't able to ask them, you could find Christoph at booth.
Booth B29. It's right down there at the food court at the corner. And if you want a book, I have some still for you here to be autographed. Thank you very much.
And everyone, that ends our conference sessions in room 1 for the day. But please go enjoy the expo.
Awesome. Thank you.